America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedoms, it will be because we destroyed ourselves. The most reliable way to predict the future is to create it. I see in the near future a crisis approaching that unnerves me and causes me to tremble for the safety of my country. Corporations have been enthroned, and an era of corruption in high places will follow. And the money power of the country will endeavor to prolong its reign by working upon the prejudices of the people, until all wealth is aggregated in a few hands, and the republic is destroyed. Great men are ordinary men with extraordinary determination. Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. You must remember that some things legally right are not morally right. Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak out and remove all doubt. Sir, my concern is not whether God is on our side. My greatest concern is to be on God's side, for God is always right. We can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or rejoice because thorn bushes have roses. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. We have been preserved these many years in peace and prosperity. We have grown in numbers, wealth, and power, as no other nation has ever grown. But we have forgotten God. We have forgotten the gracious hand which preserved us in peace, and multiplied and enriched and strengthened us. And we have vainly imagined, in the deceitfulness of our hearts, that all these blessings were produced by some superior wisdom and virtue of our own. Intoxicated with unbroken success, we have become too self-sufficient to feel the necessity of redeeming and preserving grace, too proud to pray to the God that made us. It is a sin to be silent when it is your duty to protest. A house divided against itself cannot stand. You cannot build character and courage by taking away people's initiative and independence. You cannot help people permanently by doing for them what they could and should do for themselves. You cannot help the poor by destroying the rich. You cannot lift the wage earner by pulling down the wage payer. A day spent helping no one but yourself is a day wasted. You can please some of the people some of the time, all of the people some of the time, some of the people all of the time, but you can never please all of the people all of the time. Nothing is more damaging to you than to do something that you believe is wrong. Freedom is not the right to do what we want, but what we ought. When arguing with a fool, make sure the opponent isn't doing the exact same thing. Those who are ready to sacrifice freedom for security ultimately will lose both. A friend is one who has the same enemies as you have. Let every American, every lover of liberty, every well-wisher to his posterity, swear by the blood of the revolution, never to violate in the least particular the laws of the country, and never to tolerate their violation by others. Kindness is the only service that will stand the storm of life and not wash out. I believe the Bible is the best gift God has ever given to man. All the good from the Savior of the world is communicated to us through this book. Any society that takes away from those most capable and gives to the least will perish. If there is anything that links the human to the divine, it is the courage to stand by a principle when everybody else rejects it. You can tell the greatness of a man by what makes him angry. Violence begins where knowledge ends. If we exchange $1, we both have $1 each. But if we exchange one good thought, we both have two good thoughts. If you have never failed, you have never lived. You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today. When you make it to the top, turn and reach down for the person behind you. Be with a leader when he is right, stay with him when he is still right, but leave him when he is wrong. The philosophy of the schoolroom in one generation will be the philosophy of government in the next. Things may come to those who wait, but only the things left by those who hustle. A statesman is he who thinks in the future generations, and a politician is he who thinks in the upcoming elections. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. I am a firm believer in the people. If given the truth, they can be depended upon to meet any national crisis. The great point is to bring them the real facts. Behind the cloud, the sun is still shining. If you trust, you will be disappointed occasionally. But if you mistrust, you will be miserable all the time. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. How many legs does a dog have if you call the tail a leg? 4. Calling a tail a leg doesn't make it a leg. Teach the children so it will not be necessary to teach the adults. Whatever woe are, be a good one. Commitment is what transforms a promise into a reality. Commitment is the stuff character is made of, the power to change the face of things. It is the daily triumph of integrity over skepticism. I do not think much of a man who is not wiser today than he was yesterday. Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves. This country, with its institutions, belongs to the people who inhabit it. Whenever they shall grow weary of the existing government, they can exercise their constitutional right of amending it, or exercise their revolutionary right to overthrow it. When I left Springfield to become president, I asked the people to pray for me. I was not a Christian. When I buried my son, the severest trial of my life, I was not a Christian. But when I went to Gettysburg and saw the graves of thousands of our soldiers, I then and there consecrated myself to Christ. I do not boast that God is on my side. I humbly pray that I am on God's side. It often requires more courage to dare to do right than to fear to do wrong. The best thing about the future is that it comes one day at a time. You can have anything you want if you want it badly enough. You can be anything you want to be. Do anything you set out to accomplish if you hold to that desire with singleness of purpose. Character is like a tree, and reputation like a shadow. The shadow is what we think of it. The tree is the real thing. I walk slowly, but never backwards. A nation that does not honor its heroes will not long endure. Every man is born an original, but sadly, most men die copies. Be sure you put your feet in the right place, then stand firm. Tell the truth and you won't have so much to remember. The money power preys on the nation in times of peace and conspires against it in times of adversity. It is more despotic than monarchy, more insolent than autocracy, more selfish than bureaucracy. It denounces as public enemies all who question its methods or throw light upon its crimes. The best way to destroy an enemy is to make him a friend. The trouble with too many people is they believe the realm of truth always lies within their vision. Thank you for watching and supporting our channel. If you found this video inspiring, please hit the subscribe button and join our growing community of learners and leaders. Don't forget to like, share, and turn on notifications so you never miss our life-changing content.